Nice. Awesome. Thanks everyone for your patience for those technical difficulties that I mentioned. Looks like we are all set now. So I will dive right into the content. Thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate it. This is our bi-weekly webinar that we have for our partners called the Phishing Net. And so this is a forum where our partners for Phin can ask questions about anything. It's really an Ask Me Anything session. We also have a talking point that I will get into here in a second. But again, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, raise your hand, etc. We can go over those. But for now, let me get into the bulk of what I wanted to share with you today. So my name is Andrew, of course. I'm here with the Phin team and the partner success team. And so let me get right into the Phin portal that I'll share here. And so today we're going to be talking about specifically branding and admins as well. In the past, we've done things like creating phishing templates, campaigns, how to set up different types of campaigns, custom and fixed length continuous. So if you're interested in checking some of those out, feel free to check those out on our YouTube page. You can actually get there, I believe, from this icon here. Yep, from our YouTube page in the bottom left. And so all of the ones that we've done and all the ones that we will do are linked in a playlist on our YouTube page. So feel free to check those out. Some really good stuff there. But for today, like I said, we're going over admins and branding. So kind of the back end logistical kind of thing to make sure that you're able to almost completely whitelist the product. So you can have your image, your kind of logo associated with everything, all of your customers, welcome emails, and then also they can see that in the LMS as well, the end users. And then also admins, controlling who has access to what. And there's some different considerations that you should have when providing access to admins in Phin Security. So, and starting with admins, so you can see here, this is like my test, our test tenant, test demo account, if you will, right? And so these are our admins that we have here at the partner level. And so, if you wanted to add, a teammate, anyone, a lot of you might know this, but this is where you could do so. But and they'd have access to all of these company accounts. You can do anything, create a new company, edit any of the campaigns in those. You can also create a co-manage admin where I'll go into Joe's Pizza Shop for an example. You can go into users and you can actually add an admin for each individual tenant. So you don't have to, just administer one admin at the larger partner level. You could do so on a smaller basis as well, where if I add an admin here as a company level admin, they'd only have access to be able to do certain things in this tenant, certain things like create campaigns, add users, reports, things like that. So that's a really good way to kind of limit access to, if you have customers, if you have stakeholders that want access to their specific instance of Phin, their tenant. This is a good way to do that. Another really good use case for that is when, I know that a lot of times people who are receiving the content want to, like decision makers at maybe some of your companies that you administer this for, want to be involved in the training content. So if that's the case, I'd always recommend adding them as an admin here, as one way to do it. And from there, they can actually go through all of our training content in our training library that you can see here. They can view it themselves, go through it, see what they like, see what they don't, rather than sending all of our 100+ training courses to the person in question. So we also have resources as well on that. We've got stuff in our knowledge base that kind of covers like our training curriculum. So we've got like our topics and course titles here that you can see. So that's another resource as well, but also co-manage admin is also another really good way to do that too. So that's admins. One thing I think I forgot to mention is when you're looking at admins, there's different access levels. Full access, the only difference between full access and standard access is going to be access to the billing tab up here. So full access will have access to billing. They can change payment information, etc. Standard does not have this access. So that's really the only difference. In the future, well, I guess I should say in the past, we've talked about adding different like tiered access levels for different admins. I think that's been a really good idea, and it's something that I think we'd like to do in the future going forward. To be able to have a level one access admin to only be able to do minimal things all the way up to, I don't know, a certain number of tiers. Um, so that is something that we're considering as well. But for now, it's mostly, with the exception of accessing billing, an all or nothing type of approach. Um, okay, that is admins. I don't see any questions, so I will continue on here. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask those as you need to. And so, as we get into branding, branding is very straightforward. I'll just kind of quickly walk through it, and then we can go into like some more common questions or any audience questions as well. But for branding, so there's two ways to add branding, kind of like there's two ways to add admins. There's branding at the partner home, which you can see here. So this is like your homepage where you can add the branding here on the left side, or within each company tenant. And if you add it here at the partner home, let me go ahead and go to it. You upload your logo here. It will automatically adapt down to all of your customer accounts so that you only need to upload your logo one time. You don't need to upload it in each individual company. It's a one-time thing. Your logo will appear in things like welcome emails, which you can see here. It just kind of be a nice way to know that the email that you're welcoming new users into the program for, it's coming from you guys, from their IT or MSP provider. And so, that's a really good way to white label a solution and doing it that way. If you had a unique logo for a customer or something that needs to be co-branded, you can see here, like at the partner level, I uploaded a Phin logo, but for Joe's Pizza Shop, that required a unique logo here. So all I would do is go to branding, and you can override anything at the partner level here at this company level by uploading a logo. So if you, like I said, you have a co-branded logo, something that's unique to your individual customers, you can do it on a per company, a per tenant basis as well. The other area besides welcome emails that this appears, so this is where welcome emails. This is also in the end user's LMS, in like the top right corner when they're taking a training. They can see it there so that they know that this is coming from you guys, from whoever's administering this, their MSP. So that's essentially branding and admins in a nutshell. Not the most complicated thing, of course, but definitely some key considerations there that to take into account when you're setting those up. If you have questions on any of those, you can again come to this help and support area of the platform. I already mentioned the YouTube page, but you can also come to help and documentation and see any of this set up here as well. I believe it's under getting started. Yeah, so you can see documentation that we have for adding admins, creating new clients, and then the personalized aspect of it and branding as well. And so those words are kind of interchangeable at Phin, is personalization and branding. So feel free to go through any of those at any time in our knowledge base. It is a public knowledge base, so everyone should have access. Awesome. That is it for today's kind of highlight of the platform. It's a rather quick one, not a ton to it. And I will go ahead and also move into some frequently asked questions as well. And let me pull those up. And so let's see here. I think I just lost my window as well. Okay, awesome. So one of the questions that I think has been important as of late that we get a lot is like, what is the end user going to experience? Like, what do training reminders look like? How often are they sent out? What does that look like? What about learning moments? What is the end user experience? And so I can go ahead and show everyone here shortly. Let me pull this up so that everyone can see my screen. Okay, and then I will bring this over. Okay, perfect. So this is an example of one of our Phin phishing templates. And so this is our Dropbox example. And so this is one of our many phishing templates that we have. We have a ton. If you go to any company, you can see them under phishing and template library. So you have the option to see any of these that we have. You can preview them. This is a preview of one of them and activate one. We also have, some stuff from Apple as well that you can see here. So lots of really cool templates. You can also clone them, create your own. I mentioned creating your own template was a different webinar that we had. So feel free to check that one out and our documentation on that. But this is one of our Dropbox ones. If the end user goes ahead and clicks on this, we actually take them to a learning moment. And learning moments are a great tool that we have that the end user can go through and complete. We've gotten the feedback a lot of times from other, our partners, their other content providers for SAT. They will oftentimes, I guess, make the user feel like they're being punished for clicking on a phishing link. And so what has happened a lot of times is they click on the phishing link, the end user, and then they're sent a training video as kind of like punishment or reconciliation for that. And so with Phin, the goal is to not do that, because oftentimes it's not even related to the action that they just took, clicking on the link. It could be related to something completely different. So the goal is to have the end user learn exactly what they could have done differently with this exact same email in the form of a learning moment. And so there's kind of these prompts or these guides that kind of walk them through the email, what to look for. A lot of times it's check the sending domain, checks for suspicious images, hover over links before they're clicked to see where they take you before you actually click them. So as long as the user clicks through these prompts, these helpful hints, if you will, and really reads through them, of course, and once they click done, that will register that they've completed in the analytics section of Phin for the learning moment. And so very useful that they can really learn in real time. They can, again, reference any of this stuff if they need to again, but that is something that is a huge focus at Phin, is changing behavior in real time from a phishing email, so that that hopefully does not happen again, right? And so that is the end user experience, I should say, from a phishing aspect. And so for training, I will go here and select this one. And so this is what our training reminders look like. And if a user has any outstanding trainings, any trainings that are incomplete, they will automatically once a week get one of these training reminders saying they have a certain number of courses, one or more, that need to be completed. And so all they would do is click to view, and it takes them to their LMS, which you can see here. So for this one, I obviously don't have any assigned trainings. But if I did, I could see what it is when it was assigned to me. I could also see all the trainings that have been completed, and they look similar, in the assigned section as well. Or you could just see all of it as well. And so as you complete trainings, if you're an end user, you can go ahead and see the training that you completed. What's the status? Green is completed. And then you can also download a certificate of completion as well if you need to. So very straightforward. There's no login. There's no password for the user to remember. It's all email based via a unique link. And so very good way for end users to just go right in, take their training. 90% of our trainings are actually 5 minutes or less. So very, very useful way for end users to get through those in a very painless process, hopefully. So. And then again, you can see branding. This is actually not for the Joe's Pizza Shop I shared, but this is one of the logos that was uploaded in another one of my test tenants. So you can see that branding here. They know it's coming from the MSP. So another good reference point for them. Okay, awesome. That is all I had and wanted to share. And I don't see any questions, so I will assume that there are none. Yeah, nothing in the chat. As you have any questions, again, this is a resource for you guys, for our partners. to be able to learn about Phin, learn about the basic functions of it, more advanced functions. Today was a little bit more straightforward. But again, as we change and we evolve, we add new features, new integrations. We'll continue to highlight those in these types of sessions as well, answer questions about them. I know we have several on the horizon, so really excited about what's coming. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us as the partner experience team. We're happy to answer any of those questions, or our support team as well, by going ahead and also using this to submit a ticket as well. And so our support team's great. They can knife through any technical issues as well. So lots of resources for you as the partner, and we're happy to help with any of those. All right. Again, no questions, so I will leave it at that. Feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to have a conversation, and have a great rest of your week, everyone, and we'll see you next time.